This is numbers 6 through 10 on the study guide. Number 6 says, write a biconditional form from each conditional statement and its converse. Here's the conditional statement. If two angles share a side, then they are adjacent. If two angles are adjacent, then they share a side. So what we can say here is we can say two angles share a side. So take the first half here of this. Two angles share a side if and only if they are adjacent. And that's our biconditional statement. So you just take the hypothesis and conclusion, join it with if and only if. Number 7. On number 7, we have that we're supposed to identify the property that justifies the statement. And I'm told that if the angle ABC is congruent to angle DEF, then angle DEF is congruent to angle ABC. Well, we're talking about two different angles, and what we've done is we've flip-flopped the order in which they're written. That's the symmetric property. Compare that to this one, number 8. If angle 1 is congruent to angle 2, and angle 2 is congruent to angle 3, then angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. Well, that is the transitive property. And then number 9, I'm going to draw you a picture because I think that will make this a little bit easier to understand. We have W and X here. And it's saying that this segment WX is congruent to the segment XW. Well, it's the same segment being congruent to itself. It's the same thing congruent to itself. That is the reflexive property. Number 10. We see that we're going to be using segment addition postulate because, look, the big segment CE here is equal to the smaller segment CD plus the segment DE. So this one right here, we can either say is given, but I'm actually going to use segment addition postulate because that's actually what the theorem is that we're using here, or postulate that we're using here. And then notice right off the bat, they substitute in values. CE is 6x, so we substituted in here. CD was 8 units, so we substituted it in here. So we can see that we're using the substitution property of equality. And then here, now if you look, what they did was from this step to this step, they combined the 7 and the 8. They combined like terms. So that would be our justification, combine like terms. And then what would we do to both sides? Well, look, they subtracted 3x from both sides, because if you subtract 3x from this side and subtract 3x from this side, you get 3x equals 15. So that's the subtraction property of equality. And then what did they do? They divided both sides by 3, so that would be the division property of equality.